Share an interfaith experience you have had. On the Anglican Church of Canada website, it notes the following about interfaith dialogue. There will be no peace among the nations without peace among the religions. There will be no peace among the religions without dialogue among the religions. Theologian Hans Kuhn. Canada is an increasingly pluralistic country, and more Canadians are living, working, and socializing side by side with people of other religious traditions. For Christians, there is a growing need not just for dialogue with people of other faiths, but for genuine relationships with them. Increased awareness of religious plurality, the potential role of religion in conflict, and the growing place of religion in public life all present urgent challenges that require greater understanding and cooperation among people of diverse faiths. The Anglican Church of Canada pursues formal dialogue with people of other faiths, together with the other member churches of the Canadian Council of Churches. We also participate in the Canadian Interfaith Conversation, which gathers representatives of different religious groups who believe that people of faith can contribute positively to the benefit of all people in Canadian society. An interfaith conversation, action, or relationship involves people of different religious faiths. There are many opportunities for us as a church and for us as individuals to learn about the other faiths of the world and share our own beliefs. I believe that we do this not to try to have a conversation about who is right, but rather to learn from one another and experience how love, hope, and faith are expressed and lived out in the world. I come from an interfaith family and have been involved in various interfaith ministries throughout my life. I am by no means an expert on any faith, but I am committed to learning and growing more deeply in my own faith and the respect and relationships I have with people from other faith traditions. One of the interfaith experiences that comes to mind is when I participated in an interfaith Ring of Peace outside Our Lady of Lourdes in Toronto, following the 2019 Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka. The Easter Day bombings in Sri Lanka deeply hurt and affected not only myself and my family and friends around the world, but especially my loved ones who live in Sri Lanka. The events shook me to my core, and I wanted to act. I gathered outside Our Lady of Lourdes with people of different faiths and people who stated they had no faith, because we all wanted to respond to this act of hate and violence. We formed a human ring around the church, and some of us held up signs, and cars that passed by would honk or wave. I had never participated in anything like this before, and what I remember most was the people. The diverse people who came together that day to pray and to stand in solidarity with one another. It was these people who I cried out with for peace, love, and justice for all humanity. It was these people who shared stories about their faith, their beliefs, their hopes, and their fears. It was these people who gave me strength and a deeper understanding of who God was calling me to be. Another interfaith experience that I hold closely to my heart was my wedding day. I was married on October 5th, 2019, in an interfaith ceremony. The ceremony took place in an Anglican church. Before the Anglican wedding service, leaders from my husband's mosque officiated the nikah ceremony. The nikah ceremony is the marriage ceremony in the Islamic tradition, and for us involved hearing the recitation of scripture, signing of the marriage license, an exchange of rings, and prayers. Following this ceremony, we proceeded into the Anglican service and heard the proclamation of the word, made vows, had our rings blessed, and prayed. The service took a lot of planning, discussion, and cooperation, not just between myself and my husband or our families, but also between the faith leaders of both communities. We were grateful that so many people came together for our wedding day to help us celebrate our love with God's blessing. It was not the wedding I imagined growing up, but it was so much more. Share an interfaith experience you have had. How did you feel? What questions did you have leading up to it, during, or after? Would you like to participate in more interfaith dialogue and experiences? It is an honor to grow together in faith, even while apart.